Yeah, I can hear it. All right, yeah, we good. Hey. So let's go. I'm gonna minimize that. So yeah, hey, it's your boy Godchild, first of his name, and I would like to welcome you back to the What's Packing Sports Show. My phone always goes off, and I figured it out now. Every time I go live, my phone always goes off, and it's because I have Twitch on my phone. So then I always get that notification. I was like, why does it always happen? There's always a reason for everything. How big of a delay am I on with you? Or am I on a delay? Okay, cool. All right, bet. So, man, we are talking. I have us at SavDean on Sports. Last time I kept saying at Sav on Sports. And she didn't even correct me.
I didn't notice.
All right, well, hey, let me just shut the door real quick. Hey, well, all right, cool. Well, we got it figured out now. We know who you are at SavDean on Sports. And people probably, I mean, if they can read, they can read. So, yo, shouting out, shooting hoops, but having a good stream. Thanks for getting the 200. Hey, man, thank you. Appreciate you. Get Stone Talk Sports. So we're live on, we are live right now on Twitch and YouTube, as a matter of fact. So say hi to the people.
Hello.
It'd be funny if you just said hi to the people. All right, so yeah, man, we're talking week 17. We had a good holiday, right? You had a good holiday?
I did have a good holiday. Did you?
Yes, I did as well. What's up? I am Donovan. Thank you for joining us on the show. Yeah, did you get everything you wanted for Christmas? Did Santa Claus?
Well, I didn't get $1 million, but other than that, yes.
All right, bet. You know what I'm saying? Damn it, I didn't get it either. So maybe we was on the naughty list.
For real.
But we did get a Green Bay Packers victory, though, which I think all Packers fans wanted for Christmas. So, or Kwanzaa or Hanukkah or whatever, they just wanted to experience that. So we did get a chance to see that. So I think we're all got good gifts. All right, yeah. So let's just jump into that. You know what I mean? Week 16, Titans. Packers, it was going to be a showdown. It was supposed to be a shootout, maybe. It was supposed to be you know what I'm saying, the game for the game of the year, but it ended up being like a lopsided blowout for real.
Yeah.
The Packers put the smack down on the Tennessee Titans, beating them 40 to 14. And I mean, I was just blown away. So we're going to do the 5 W's as it is our tradition to do on the show after the game. And I'm going to let SavDean or Savannah. Do you care which one I call you, or do you prefer
No,
one?
it doesn't matter.
I can keep like switching it up.
Yeah.
All right, bet. All right, cool. So we're going to let you get the first W, which is who stood out to you during this game?
There's a lot of different players that I can think of, but the first one that comes to the top of my head, probably going to be your first one as well, is AJ Dillon.
Okay, AJ Dillon, that's your guy. Yeah.
I mean, he did really well.
He did.
Jamal Williams didn't play, so he actually got a chance. He had a couple carries earlier in the season, and they were for first downs, and he looked decent, but we weren't really able to play him because we had Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams. But with Jamal Williams out, we were able to play him. He did really well. 21 carries, 124 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He looked really good.
He did.
Average.
He did honestly look really good, yeah.
He definitely stood out to me because he doesn't get that many reps. Like I said in the game, he only has had a couple carries, and he was able to run all over that Titans defense.
Yeah. He definitely stood out. We finally got to see him, as you said, and the funny part about it is that there were times when Matt LaFleur after games mentions like we wanted to get AJ Dillon more involved, but I'm like, well, you're calling the plays, coach. You know what I'm saying? like you told us that like 3 or 4 times, and if you wanted to, you could have literally just said get in the game, So I don't know. It's
Right.
I never understood when coaches said that we never got around to it. It's like you call the plays, so I don't know. But yeah, he was stood out. But to me, honestly, there was another guy that really stood out, and I just kind of split it up between offense and defense. Maybe I cheated a little bit. I don't know. Were we making it a rule? It had to just be one person, like we have to choose, or could we do offense, defense, or
I mean, we can do offense and defense. That's fine.
that's fine. That makes it that way we can spread the love a little bit more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gotta look at it that
Perfect.
way. I want to spread the love. So I think we both agree. AJ Dillon, he was definitely a standout um, for the game on offense, but on defense, I mean, but you could have gone Devontae Adams, but I mean, that's like his baseline at this
Yeah,
point. You know what I'm saying?
I definitely could have gone Devontae
Yeah,
Adams, but you know what? At this point,
yeah,
like he's been having games where I
yeah,
think that was a great game.
yeah.
He's been having games like that all season, and
That's
we
what I'm
don't
saying.
get to play
So
like that or start or anything like he did. So
yeah,
he
so
stood out as a NFL fan.
yeah,
You definitely would focus on Devontae Adams,
yeah,
but as
yeah.
a Packers
Packers
fan,
fan
it's
for
like,
sure. Hey, and it's all
yeah, Dylan
Packers,
hasn't
baby.
played. Like this is his first real full game.
Yeah.
Like you know,
Hey, I totally agree with everything you preaching to the choir over here. Okay. So but for me and this guy, I had to pick him because for my who on defense is Darnell, don't call him average, Savage, as I like to call him, because this kid, like, he was really hyped, I feel like, coming out of Maryland. And hey, I'm I'm DMV, baby. So like I was really proud to have a guy from the DMV who plays school here in the DMV at University of Maryland. He a Terp, and on the Packers that I could root for. But after his rookie year was kind of a little uh, anticlimactic, we could say. You know what I'm saying? We had a
right.
lot of hype, and we were like, "Oh man, he looked good," and he flashed, but he never really had sustained play, or he had a lot of bad plays. I feel like in times I remember he just in the wrong place at the wrong time, or there but didn't make the play. But the last couple of games, I feel like it's finally starting to click for him,
Yeah.
and he's just been all over the field. I mean, he had an interception, and he dropped another one that probably could have been a pick six.
Oh,
And I
definitely.
mean, then he
He
had
was thinking. He was probably thinking end zone.
yeah.
Like immediately, right when that ball was thrown towards him, he was probably thinking about the end zone and just didn't focus on actually catching the ball.
And I am Donovan says I agree, and I'm thinking he or she or they, I'll just say, was probably talking about when I said that it could be Devontae Adams, but that's like his baseline at this point. So you go with
Yeah.
Dylan. And but just to me, and then Darnell Savage, he had like a pressure on Tannehill. I think it was like third down. They were kind of close to the red zone, and or not really. They're like about midfield maybe, I guess, or a little bit beyond that. And he just got the pressure on Tannehill. He didn't hit him, but he was in there so quick on the blitz that Tannehill had to just throw it as soon as he could. You know what I mean? And then and he did
Yeah.
just, but I feel like in the past he may have just ran in there blindly or just fast as he could, and Tannehill maybe could have sidestepped it or something. But he broke down this time. I don't know. He just seems like he's just playing more heads up football. He seems like he's really just starting to get look as comfortable as you would hope that he could start to look
Right.
into the second year and making plays. And for the past 4 weeks, man, I think he's just been a big reason for some of the turnaround on defense. So I did go. I did want to like highlight Darnell Savage. I might have to get that jersey. I was really hoping though they would let him get 21, and I was like holding out for that, but I don't think they're gonna.
Oh yeah, but yeah, I was really hoping for that one too. Who
Yeah,
was not hoping for that one? As a Packers fan, like
yeah,
really, like who doesn't want that?
you're right. For him to have 21, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean it's like, but I think if they don't let him do it, I'm just gonna hold. I'm just gonna have to go out and get it because I want a defensive jersey. Like you said, I got Rogers, I got Lacey. I want like a defensive jersey. Do you have any defenders jerseys?
No, I only have Rogers and Adams right now.
Okay.
I've been looking at Alexander jerseys though.
Oh man, Alexander. Yeah, he's gonna be nice. He's gonna be nice. He is nice, but I feel like he can get even better. You know. All right.
Yeah.
So look, what about the what? What about what? As in, what was your biggest takeaway from this game against the Tennessee Titans. I'm talking with Sav Dean on Sports. It's the What's Packing Sports Show. We live streaming on Twitch. We doing the 5 W's to the Green Bay Packers victory. We're on W number 2. Take it away, Savannah.
I took away from this game that we can actually play a complete game.
Yay,
You
yes.
know, like
Yeah.
we against Carolina, we had a good first half and then we had a bad second half and still put out the win. But we've had multiple games this season where we play a great first half, but we can't stay in the game or stay as consistent as we were the first half, in the second half as we were in the first half. And we kind of let them come back a little bit. At one point it was 14-19, but then they didn't score the rest of the game. Our
Yeah.
defense stepped up and our
Yes.
offense kept clicking, kept going down the field and scoring, no matter if it was a pass touchdown or a rushing touchdown. We were
Yeah.
able to get it both ways.
You know why I'm dancing?
Because you think of the same thing?
Yeah, and it's like you're saying what you're saying is like music to my ears. You know, it's just like yes, exactly. The Packers had a complete game for once, and I mean, I don't know if it's just sort of when I started watching football, like defense was, there was people always say defense wins championships, but I feel like the defenses were allowed to be a lot more physical, and just it seemed to play more into the outcome of the game. But as of late, the NFL is kind of really pushing this pass first, points, long ball, excitement type of league, which is great, you know what I mean? But I still like old school defensive performances in low scoring games and defenses, not just fans. I hate when fans just accept garbage points,
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's garbage points, you know what I'm saying? Like, doggy woof woof in the house, what's going on? Doggy woof woof. So we're on Twitch, like I said. So I'm also like chatting with the people in the Twitch chat. So I'm shouting them out. I'm trying to shout them out, you know what I'm saying, as they pop up on the stream. Yeah, man. But so my biggest trigger was similar to that, which is just that this defense like has turned the corner. Question mark. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I felt at least. But now I'm like, yeah, I think they really did like figure something out. You know what I'm saying? This is 4 straight weeks. Like the biggest worry that I kind of had or skepticism was just like we've all seen Patton allow teams to keep doing something to him and not changing. You know what I mean?
We're not changing anything up, right?
Yeah. So, to see them really be able to sell out against the run, and he still had 98 yards, which is like, he's good. A running back is good when you feel good about holding him to 98 yards. It's like,
Yep.
so we give our respects to him, but they really bullied these Titans, right?
Right.
I mean, it was a little close, but the way the defense just stepped up, they had big plays. They got off the field on third downs consistently.
Right.
You know what I mean? They didn't give up anything. I mean, the Tannehill run was kind of big, and
I was just about to say that run that we gave up, that was the run that we were thinking that Henry was going to have at one point, and then we could hold him the rest of the time.
yeah, exactly. But hey, one touchdown works all the same. Hey, doggy woof woof, I'm good. How are you? Thank you. So it's like, but it's like you get that they're a good team. You know what I'm saying? So I'll get that, and I feel like maybe because that was really the first time Tannehill had ran all game, that they maybe just like fell asleep at the wheel.
Right.
But it didn't happen again, which which is a testament to just how well they play. So I was really pleased with them, and that was just my takeaway. Yeah, like the offense was clicking and defense was playing together, and then special teams, they had kind of been fucking up the past couple weeks, and they didn't have anything major. So it was just like everything. They got a turnover, they got sacks, like they ran the ball a lot. You know what I'm saying? So it was just complete game, complete total domination by the Packers. We're gonna go to the third W, which is win. As in, when did you feel like the momentum switch, or when was the turning point for you in this game this victory over the Titans?
So when the Titans came out and scored at the beginning of the first half to make it 14-19, I'm getting nervous, but then we go right down.
I just feel like I just need to cheese it up some more. It needed
So
more.
we go right down and we score, and then we force them to punt, and then we go right down and score again. And then the next series or what our defense forces an interception. Those four series right there, that was really showing our offensive strength and our defensive strength all in the matter of like four series. Like
Yeah,
defensive series, great, offensive series, even better.
yeah.
So that was
You're
definitely
talking
a
about the
point in time.
Savage interception.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, because the Titans went down and scored. It's like, okay, the game's close. Now our offense needs to step up and score. And then after that, our defense needs to stay strong and force a punt or a turnover. And then that's literally what they did. We scored, we stopped them. We scored, we stopped them.
yeah. So
So
look,
that was definitely the point in time where I'm just like, oh, we got this game. Like, Aaron Rodgers threw an interception. I was more upset that he threw one than at the fact that he threw one. Like, if that makes sense. Like, I was more upset that he added to his interception
yeah,
totals than the fact that the Titans actually got
got
one.
the ball. Yeah,
So I was confident that the defense
yeah.
was going to stop that.
You would think about that MVP race. You're like, damn it.
Yes, yes.
Like we didn't want him to throw anymore. Like he could have had 40 touchdowns and only 4 interceptions, and it would have been amazing. 44-4.
Right.
That'd have been crazy if he would have ended with like 44-4 or something. But yeah, hey, I feel you, and that's how you know the Packers are having a good game, baby. Where bad shit happens and you're not even tripping. Like honestly, this was the first time, and I broke my own rule. I said you're not a real Packers fan if you haven't tweeted Fire Patton at least once during the game, and this was the first time that I can remember since we've had Mike Patton that I haven't wanted to tweet Fire Mike Patton. So let's clap it up for Mike Patton. He did his thing.
If
And
you could stay like this, if we were to win like the Super Bowl or go to the Super Bowl and
oh,
the Packers were to stay like this,
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that though. But look, hold up. Let me just point out in the chat they're saying in the chat that Tennessee it looked like Tennessee didn't play their best game. You know, they weren't playing like their usual selves. Yeah.
We have seen them play better games, but you know what? They didn't play their best because we were just the better team.
Yes, exactly. And that's what I was going to say. I do think that the weather played a role in that for sure. Even Rogers talked about it, and I'm watching some of the other like outlets and like ex-players are saying like, trust me, yes, when you like Brandon Marshall, he was saying he had fur put in his cleats or something. Like when he was playing up in Chicago, he had fur put in his cleats to keep his feet warm. So it's like I think that definitely played a role. But if I was going to give it up like a percentage, I would say that was maybe about 15%, you know? And I say the rest was the Packers just whooping their ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, yeah, the Titans didn't show their best selves on Sunday, but a part of that, or a lot of that was just a tribute to how well the Packers played them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's just really how I feel about it. So we both agree on that, and because I really had the same thing. Honestly, I said the Savage interception. You know, I'm really high on down on Savage right now. So Darnell, don't call him average Savage. So I'm just giving him his just desserts because I was ripping him. You know, so you're not gonna be able to tell me that I'm just a negative fan, or you know, I'm just a hater.
No, those people that say that stuff, like I get that you don't want to be negative, but like you have to be honest.
Yes,
you
exactly.
can say, oh, we have the best offense or whatever, which could possibly be true, but
Yeah.
like, in general, like you're gonna have to, you know, you're gonna have to talk about like the bad things that happen. You have to be honest about
Facts.
it. You can't just be very impressed
Facts.
about literally every single thing because you're gonna be proven wrong. And
Facts.
like, well, you know, so I understand that.
Facts. Thank you for having my back. We in this together. We back to back and shit. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, go like, you know what I'm saying, like the Charlie's Angels or something. You know what I'm saying, back to back. Anyways, so, but the point I'm trying to make is I will also, as critical as I am, I will also give you all of the roses while you still living. because I'm really impressed. So, um,
Right.
okay, so where would you put where on a scale of 1 to 10? Where would you rate this victory?
Okay. I'm gonna do like I'm gonna do like a 9.2.
Ooh, very good score. Okay, 9.2. All right. Okay.
Like I want to give it a little bit higher, but at the same time, there was a point in time where I mean, Rodgers still threw that interception.
Uh
That was
huh.
just literally a bad pass. Like you
Yeah.
never really see him do that, but he still did that.
Yeah.
Our defense did at some point let the game get close,
Close.
but
Yeah.
we still ended up blowing them out. We still had multiple great defensive plays,
Yeah.
but in general, we let them come back a little bit. Aaron Rodgers threw that interception. There was a couple drops. Like it
Yeah.
wasn't the most perfect. It wasn't the most perfect game, but it was our best game of the season.
Yeah. Hey, I I feel like you nailed it on the head. Like um, they did a lot of things well, but there were a few things like you said that they just even tightened that up, and you really can't see a team that could. You can't. There's not a team that the Packers wouldn't be able to go toe to toe with, or I feel like even be favored in most matchups.
Right.
If they just do those things, I mean, yeah, I would think honestly, I think they would have the ability to just the way they played on Sunday. I feel like I put them as my number one team this week on my power ranking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I have to post that. I didn't do that.
so it's like, but I feel like some people think it's the Bills, or could be the Bills, or still the Chiefs. But I think the Packers and the way they played, like I literally wrote down 9.3.
Nice. Nice.
You said 9.2.
I did say 9.2.
Yeah, I literally wrote down here 9.3, and I wrote down 234 rushing yards. So I was like, that was to me like the thing that really made me stand out. Like they showed that they could be a tough team. Like they
Right. Yeah,
showed
we're
that.
not. Yeah, we showed that we can run the ball because
Yeah,
obviously a lot of people know us as a pass offense, which is fine, but we showed that we are able to run the ball.
which honestly I think is going to be more important to the success of this team going forward than them passing the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Like because what they did and how they were able to the time of possession was crazy. They almost had the ball for like a I think it was like a 12 or 13 minute differential.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Hold on, I think I did write it down. I feel like I did write it down. TOP, yeah, it was 36-23. The Packers had the ball for 36 minutes.
Yeah.
Compared to the Titans 23 minutes. That's a 13-minute difference. That's almost a whole quarter. You know what I'm saying? That's like you just take a whole quarter. You take almost like a whole quarter and say, yeah, we're just gonna be on the field for 13 minutes and just see how many. You know what I'm saying? Like that. I mean, I
I
feel
mean,
like.
that's what it felt like. It was that where we beat them was probably the fourth quarter, with all that because we literally they had the ball, 3 and out. They had one more possession. They had an interception. Like there was hardly any time that almost the whole second half that they were actually on the field, and we ran it most of the fourth quarter. So that's what's gonna up our time of possession as
Yeah,
well.
and I like that, and I think that kept them honest. And I feel like even in better conditions, they probably would have maybe taken a few more deep balls. But
Yeah.
just the offensive line played great. And
Yeah.
I still think, but like you said, there were a couple things, but I mean, overall, man, even they never let Henry have really a great big run. So I was impressed.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just put 9.3. I feel like I don't know what it, like I'm wondering if they hold the team to 0 points, would that be a 10? I'm trying to figure out, can you give a 10 out, or do you have to still make like a 9.9? Can you give any perfect 10s out?
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know if you would ever give a 10
right.
unless. So I saw this thing on
All
Twitter
right, doggy. Woof
where
woof. We'll check you out later, man. Thanks for stopping by.
I saw this thing on Twitter where I was asking people, hey, do you know if Aaron Rodgers is going to be able to break his passer rating record because he holds the single season
Yeah,
NFL record at
20.
122.5.
Yeah, 120.
Right now he's at 119.4.
Ooh.
So this guy that said Aaron Rodgers needs to go 20 of 25 for 250 yards and 6 touchdowns.
Ooh.
If he did that, if he had that type of game, if he did that, had that type of game, and they held him to 0 points, I would be like 10 out of 10, easy.
Yeah.
If he had that type of stats, and defense held him to 0 points, or even maybe 3 points.
Yeah. Okay.
I'd be like 10 out of 10. That's literally the most perfect game I've ever seen. But if anything other than that were to happen, I don't think I'd be able to give it a 10.
That I like that. You said, okay, you said 20 or 25, 250
yards.
50 yards, 6 TDs, and then we said 0 to 3 points. That would be a perfect 10. 10 out of 10. All right, I like that. You know, we just wrote it down, so maybe we'll manifest it.
Listen, it's not like Aaron Rodgers hasn't thrown 6 touchdowns against the Bears before.
I mean, but that would be a ridiculous clip if he only completed 20 passes and 6 of them went for touchdowns. I mean,
yeah, that excites me thinking about that. I know that's possible.
honestly, we're some freaking like Packers like just fangirls. You know,
Yes.
It's like honestly,
I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with that too. Packers fangirl. Like that would really be. I would love to see it. I would love to see it. I don't know. I might not be able to. Take it. My heart might just get too excited, just burst. Like, well, he saw the greatest game ever, and you know what I'm saying? I just die. I could die happy Packers fan. Like, you know what I mean? Just saw Rodgers break the record. Like that would be insane. But anyway, yeah, and that would be a dominant performance. But I mean, they just had a really dominant performance. Like I think they did, and that leads us to our last W, which is like why, as in, you know, why do you think overall the Packers won this game? Devontae Adams. Yeah.
Like,
that's a good answer. Not a bad. Hey, if this were Family Feud, I said if this were Family Feud, I would think that would be up there. Honestly, that might be like one or two. Seriously,
Yep.
it was like we've surveyed.
We know that our defense had a great performance, but Devontae Adams, I mean, I know you're knowing what catch I'm talking about. It was that was
up the
no one else except for DeAndre Hopkins.
Up the left sideline. That kind of like, what was that like?
Yes.
Yeah, like third down or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one else except for DeAndre Hopkins catches that pass.
Yeah. Rodgers even mentioned that.
It was literally a perfect pass.
Rodgers mentioned that on Tuesdays with Aaron with McAfee. He said like, I mean, that would have been ridiculous on a nice day, you know.
Yeah.
He said, but in those conditions, in those conditions and everything, he was like, man, it was just super impressive. Like,
yeah. I mean, Devontae Adams found the end zone 3 times. I mean, in 2 of them, he was literally wide open because that's how good of a skill.
Yeah, no. That I think it was maybe his second one. He was like literally just like standing there. He just like caught it. Like, yeah, like.
2 defenders. He lost 2 of them. He's
wow.
Right here. The others are like,
oh my God. Oh, this team is so good. Oh my God. This team is so good. It just makes me excited. This is look, hey, 2020, man. Yeah, it sucked for a lot of fucking reasons, but as a Packers fan, what a time to be alive, baby. What a time to be alive as a Packers fan. This is a good fucking team. This is a good fucking team, man. Seriously. Aaron Rodgers said it feels like the playoffs started for us last week. And I agree with that sentiment. He said that, I think, either he said it in his press conference after the game or he said it on Tuesday with Aaron. But he said, I feel like the playoffs for us started last week. And I said that myself, like the playoffs needed to start for them, last week. Like, because the caliber of teams they have, like, coming up. Even the Bears, I'm not going to sleep on them. Like, they're desperate and they're fighting for a spot. They're fighting for a spot into the playoffs. And the Packers, I mean, I don't know how other fans feel about this, but I always say I don't like playing the same division opponent 3 times in 1 year.
Oh, yeah. It's so hard to beat a team 3 times.
So,
it's hard to beat a team twice.
Yeah, facts. So, I think the Packers need to play to knock the Bears out, too, and, like, see them. Because remember back to our playoff run in 2010, the Bears were the ones who were sitting on top. And I remember after we beat them to get in, basically, and I think we needed another team to lose, right? Did we need the Vikings to win and beat somebody or some shit? Because I remember that year, like, cheering for a Vikings touchdown or some shit. Like, it was one of those years the Packers needed. I think that was 2010.
We went in as a 6 seed.
Yeah.
It's not like
Yeah.
we were literally a 6 seed.
Yeah, I think that I remember that. Like, it was, who was it, 84 or 81 on the Vikings? I remember somebody, like, not Moss, but it was like an 84, 81 or 86 or something 80. They caught a touchdown, like, leaping, and then, like, they landed, and it was like, oh my gosh, the Vikings won, and so we get to go in. And then
I've never been so happy to cheer
for the Vikings, I think that's literally the only time I've ever done it. That's why I remember it so vividly. And even the dog was like, yeah. I remember it too. The dog was like, yeah, man, that shit was dope. That's how amazing that victory was. Even the animals of Packers fans remember it. The dog had to speak up like, yo, that shit was crazy. And the Bears, after the game, I remember Brian Urlacher said, like, oh, it wasn't a playoff game. I was like, really? That wasn't a playoff game? Then we saw their ass in the NFC Championship game, and what we do to them? What big BJ Raji do to him?
I always see that gif of him dancing like this.
Yeah. The Raji. Hell yeah, man. And I was just remembering, like, after that win, I was like, yeah, Brian Urlacher. Well, it is a playoff game now, and we kicked y'all ass twice. One to get in, and another to go to the Super Bowl. So, I don't know. So maybe that means we'd have to lose. That means we'd have to lose to the Bears. Oh, that's an interesting scenario. Like, would you rather just the Packers beat the Bears, knock them out, and say take on, like, Tampa Bay in the NFC Championship game or the Saints or something? Or would you rather them lose here and then end up having to play the Bears in the NFC Championship game and beating them again to go to the Super Bowl? Like, which would be more satisfying as a fan?
I mean, I don't ever want to lose to the Bears.
Right, facts. But you get that amazing feeling of, like, beating them when it all counts. You know what I'm saying? Does that mean anything?
Yeah, I don't want to.
She said, no, the Bears still suck. Fuck that. I don't ever want to lose to the Bears. If I don't have to lose to the Bears, I would never lose to the Bears. Not even for a freaking, not even for that perfect game. If it was in the playoffs. If it was in the, okay, yeah. If they lose to the Bears now, but then they beat them for the NFC Championship game, and Aaron Rodgers has that perfect 10 out of 10 game.
Okay, I would do that. Because I knew that he was going to have that game.
Okay.
I knew that losing week 17 to the Bears
And letting them in the playoffs.
spot, and we get to face them later, and they only allow 3 points, and Aaron Rodgers has that perfect game, I would be okay with that.
All right,
Just in general.
we're gonna shake on it. We're gonna shake on it, and maybe so if that happens, then I don't know. It's like you just predicted the greatest game ever or something. Gonna call you the Oracle, SavDeanOnSports. I don't know, something. That was Hey. But look, no, if that happens, I would definitely be, and it would feel even better because the Bears, they would feel so good about themselves.
Right.
And then in the NFC Championship game, they'd be like, "We're gonna win," and then to have that happen, it would be like the rivers we could fill with those tears.
Sounds good.
Those Bear tears would fill a lot of. We could take them to just walk them across the state of California and, and flood the deserts. But yeah, man, that would be great. So we're there. Okay, we just put that out there. So you know what I'm saying. If something crazy happens on Sunday, you know why, and you have to
Right.
you have to just believe that that's what's gonna happen. All right, yeah, those were the 5 W's, man. Was mine? Hold up, did I have any? Yeah, I mean, I pretty much agree with you. So I feel like that wraps up the 5 W's. We even had a nice little what if or if dream. I don't know, revenge fantasy. Our revenge fantasy to just keep continuing to make the Bears be as miserable as they could. Would actually even let you win a game. That's how deep the vitriol goes. The hate, the rivalry. We'll let you win just so we can hurt you even more, break your hearts even more when it most counts. That's some next level chess shit right there on your fanhood. So, all right, so we had some more topics. I did want to just point out some more things before we switch on though to like the
Yeah.
other topics. Like I wrote down like the Packers the defensive grades for the
Okay.
game according to like Pro Football Focus, and it said Gary had a 90.7, which is an elite grade. It said Z had a 90, which was elite. Savage had an 89.9, which was an elite grade. Jair had an 8.7, elite grade, and Clark had a 72.7, which is just like kind of like a like
High
average.
quality.
Yeah, or high quality. Maybe it's high quality.
Quality.
Maybe it's high quality. Yeah, H. I don't know. I can't read my own handwriting, but I wrote it down. I mean, 78, 72. I mean, with all those other dudes having 90s or 80s, is like, that really shows you how well those dudes play. I mean, at every level. You know what I mean? Every level. So 2 linebackers and a guy up front and 2 dudes in the secondary. I mean, you can't ask for anything better than that, honestly. You really can't. I mean, you could. You could, I guess. Like, I'm not gonna say we can't. We could,
Barely.
but yeah, but barely. Shit. I don't know what else you would ask for, but yeah, yeah. So that puts a nice little bow on that. And what was that? You want to go ahead and introduce the next topic? What did you want to talk about next? We had like 2 or 3 more.
Let's see. Well, we can talk about Matt LaFleur. We've been talking about a bunch of players and stuff.
Yeah. Hey,
So we can talk about Matt LaFleur.
there we go.
I'm down for that.
Matt. What's his whole name? Do you know his whole name, like middle name?
I do not know his whole name.
Let's see. Let's see if we can get it. Stats and information. I don't know why. I don't know why. That's my stats and information. I would love for that to actually be a tune that, like a sound that plays every time. That'd be kind of funny. Stats and information. Shoot. Matthew. Dang, come on. It doesn't say. Damn, he's ashamed of it. Is he ashamed of his middle name? It's not. It's not on his Wikipedia. I feel like it should be. Hold up. Yeah. Why doesn't he have his middle name? Okay, Matt LaFleur, ashamed of your middle name. It's all right, man. We love you anyways.
Yeah, it's not on here. That's so funny.
Isn't it? Like usually you get a person's middle name, He's got a great PR team. I can't ever have that get out. Ever. Like, what could it be? Rumpelstiltskin. Oh my gosh, what if he's Rumpelstiltskin? That's why he's so amazing and lucky and good.
Rumpelstiltskin is not amazing. What?
Wasn't he? Oh, what was he doing? Was he doing horrible things?
Well, he used to eat people.
Hey, we're eating the rest of the NFL up. He's tearing it up. And wasn't he lucky? He's a leprechaun, right? Leprechauns are lucky, aren't they? They got the pot of gold. And they do like the gold zone. Hey, man, who knows? Maybe Matt LaFleur is secretly Matthew Rumpelstiltskin LaFleur. Or maybe that's what we should start calling him, Rumpelstiltskin. Because he is fucking he is terrorizing the league right now. And these Packers they're playing really good. And I thought maybe last year he should have got some consideration and maybe even won Coach of the Year.
Yeah,
because
I say that same thing for this season too. Because even if we do end 13-3, I really do think that this season of wins,
yeah,
like I just feel like it was way better than it
yes,
was last season.
way
Like my
better.
team is way more complete this season than it is last season. Even though
Facts.
we still went 13-3
Yeah,
last season, and we could possibly go 13-3 or 12-4.
and
I still feel like this season is better, but I know he should get nods and stuff, but I don't think they're ever going to do it because of how well Aaron Rodgers and
yeah,
Davante Adams are playing. Like, I get that he has something behind that because
yeah,
look at how our team was the last few years with Mike McCarthy.
right. And
But
that is
just in general, we have one of the best to ever do it, so I don't think he is going to get that type of credit that
yeah.
he deserves.
I totally agree with you. LaFleur is going to be always it's going to be like a Belichick Brady kind of thing. I feel like a lot of people, but it's going to be like the opposite, and as it was with McCarthy, but it's starting to maybe seem like rightfully so. Even though he's turning around, but I'm still taking Washington to get into the playoffs, but and that's kind of a team, honestly, like I feel like people are sleeping on. I put them as my number 10 team on my power ranking. Washington.
Okay.
Yeah. Is that an okay, like, are you crazy, or that's interesting?
Honestly, if Alex Smith could have played the last 2 weeks, Washington would have won.
Facts. That's the same thing I said.
like,
Man, we're like on some sort of like what's that thing called from Star Wars? Spock. What's his name? Do you know Star Wars? Oh my gosh. What's Spock, man? I forget, like his race of people. They have a thing called Kevorkian. It's called a mind meld, where like both of the people can like share the same thoughts or something. I feel like we're like on the same wavelength today,
Like
with all of our topics. Like we are like, because that's exactly how I feel about it as well. But it's almost like the reverse, whereas no matter who Rodgers plays with, the other persons, they're not going to get the credit maybe they deserve because they just attribute everything to Rodgers. And it's like, but if you look at the year before that, they were terrible. I mean, they were bad enough. It's bad when you fire your coach before the season's over. Period. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were bad, man. And for him and they had kind of been slipping that way for the previous 2 years, like you said, and for him to come in, change the whole culture around, and even with the team that didn't produce his best all the time, he was able to like get the most out of them. And now to come back and do it again, but with a tougher schedule and playing more completely, playing with the second year in your offense and everything, and Rodgers being more bought in. I really do think that this is a much better season, even though it is not going to really reflect it on the tally mark. On the it's going to say 13-3 back-to-back years, which even in itself is impressive. I like to know how many teams have done that. I think the Broncos maybe did it with Elway, like back-to-back years, 13-3, or one of those teams in the AFC West. Or the Chiefs or some shit, maybe. It was some team, I think, that went back-to-back 13-3, or the Chargers. Those are all teams in the AFC West, right? Chiefs, Chargers.
Yeah.
And, I think it's one of those teams, 13-3 back-to-back years. But, it doesn't happen a lot, man. That's a lot of fucking winning, Like, honestly, that's a lot of fucking winning. And LaFleur is putting himself in a position now where he's only lost 6 games in 2 years. He's off to one of the best starts in the NFL, And as far as like when you go back to the coaches who some of the best to do it, Don Shula and Bill Walsh and Lombardi and Belichick, he's his first like 20 or 6 now games, is it 32 games, 16 games, but plus is what
16 and 15, and then the two playoff
The playoff,
games.
but yeah, but I don't know if they're counting the playoff games in the total. It might just be regular season
Yeah,
wins. So, but like it's like
just regular season wins, but
yeah,
yeah.
32 games, right? And so it's like, and for his record to be, with 26-6,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, or I mean, if they win, if they
Yeah,
win, if
25
he goes,
games.
if they go back to 13 and 30, if they go 13-3 back to back, you know what I'm saying? That's 26-6 in your first 2 years, and that's pretty goddamn good, you know.
Yeah, it
And
is.
that's like a historic kind of start for Matt LaFleur, and I don't think he's getting enough credit, like you said, because of Rodgers. But there have been times when
Right.
this team under Rodgers, have they had more seasons of like 10 and under, or like 11 and over, you know?
Well, I'd probably say 10 and over,
Right, 10 and
and then
over.
the run the table season was
Right,
7 and 6.
right. Okay, 7-6. So they've had this now 2 seasons of this, and then they had a season where they went 15-1, and I'm trying to think how many seasons.
Okay, so 13 and 3, 6 9 and 1,
Mm-hmm.
7 and 9,
Mm-hmm. Can you give the years
and
too?
yeah. Well, I'm going 2019 down.
Oh, okay, 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 okay. I got you.
Yeah, so
7-9.
10 and 6,
Okay.
2016, 10 and 6, 2015, 12 and 4, 2014, 8 7 and 1, 2013,
Uh huh.
11 and 5, 2012,
Uh huh.
15 and 1, 2011,
Uh huh.
10 and 6, 2010,
Okay.
and then 11 and 5, 2009, and then Rogers' first season they went 6 and 10.
Okay. So honestly, yeah, it's 7-5. They have
Yeah.
more seasons of 10-6 and under than 11 and better, and so I think like that was like a good little segment. I'm gonna write that. I'm gonna timestamp that one. That was at like 46 seconds because I think that's kind of interesting. You know what I mean? Like when you
Yeah,
when you
and
try to.
like the first season that he started in 2008. Like I don't want to like rush that under the rug, but
Okay. So
he's
no, my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
no, you're fine. I was just gonna say like obviously you can't just like you can't just take it out, but that was his first full season as a starter, and I feel like going 6 and 10. If you take out Patrick Mahomes, if you compare any other quarterback that's good now, like Josh Allen is finally like finding
Yeah,
himself.
did he go six
Baker
and ten?
Mayfield is finally
Yeah,
finding himself. Like all these players, like they never really have like this amazing, phenomenal season, like win wise.
yeah,
So like
yeah,
that's not bad. And then obviously going 8 7 and 1, 2013, Rodgers played how many games of that? Like the
yeah,
broken collarbone, and
yeah,
then
yeah. It's like
going
6, I think.
2000. Yeah,
I think he
going
played
into
6
2017.
because they won two more games. They won two more games. That was the year that wasn't that the year that they came back and beat Dallas, and Shields had that pick at the end.
Yeah,
Yes. Oh, that was Eddie Lacy era too. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
And then 2017 when they went 7 and 9, they were what 4 and 1 when Rodgers got hurt because he got hurt middle of week 6. So
Uh
they only
huh.
won 3 more games after that. Like two of those seasons, I don't want to cut them out either, but half of them didn't. He didn't play a full season out of those 2 seasons.
Yeah, I mean, so there's cases to be made. You know what I'm saying? There's if you look at it contextually and not just on or for face value. Yeah, you can dig deeper and you can say, um, there's something to be there's something there that it wasn't like everybody was relatively healthy and they just performed bad a bunch of weeks.
Right.
Aaron Rodgers missed games, or Aaron Rodgers was injured in the very first game of the season, and it affected his performance throughout the rest of the year. So it's like, but just if you're looking at it like that,
Yeah. Did you see on the Pat McAfee show that he literally said he had a broken leg and a tore MCL and he played all of 2018?
yeah,
I was like, I knew there was something wrong, but I didn't know that he like completely. I mean, people are out for like almost a full season with both of those injuries, and he played. He played through the
yeah,
whole year.
man, this dude right here, man, this dude. This is why he's up here. This is why he's in view for everybody to see. And look, man, I'm not gonna sit there and act like I haven't been critical of this guy, but
Right.
and I guess it's just because I just hold him in such high regard. I really, really believe he's so amazing, and it does hurt sometimes when he doesn't just play amazing. But he's human, even though we think even though he plays like, even though he plays like he could be from another planet, he actually is just a human. Maybe he did talk about. Did you ever see the episode of Pat McAfee when he talked about an alien? He saw like a spaceship or something. He had an alien sighting. He believes in aliens.
I don't think I saw that.
You should Google that, like Pat McAfee, Aaron Rodgers, alien. Like I'm pretty sure it'll pop up, and he talks about it like he was kind of like in his college years or maybe like early Packers years, and he was at somebody's house or something, but man, I kind of lost my train of thought. But what was I saying? We were talking about
You brought up aliens and Aaron Rodgers.
yeah, but I just
Oh, you didn't know where you were going with that? Is that what you're saying?
I said it, but I'm trying to get back to what I was saying before that, but yeah, it'll come to me. Like I said, it'll come to me. But I was just saying how I hold him in such a high regard, but he's still human.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? See, I said it'll come to me, and bam, it came to me. Hey, look, people, y'all saw it happen live. Okay, when you speak things, positivity, and Roger talks about that too, man. Positivity, man. Speaking positivity instead of saying, "Damn, I forgot." I said it'll come back to me, and instantaneously it came back to me, man. See how that works, folks? This is another reason why Rodgers is he's an interesting thinker, man. If you actually listen to his interviews and some of the things that he talks about, that's another reason why I do kind of like him. He's done some interesting things, and he has a mind kind of sharing those experiences with people,
Right.
try to pay it forward, I guess. And that's one of the things that I'm into. And he even mentioned that, and he was talking about how much he likes Devontae Adams, and he likes that about Devontae Adams, and that's why one of the reasons why they're like really, really good friends is because he said he just likes the way he thinks and how he speaks, like kind of the positivity and stuff like that. My man Jubilite is in the chat with the praise hands. What's going on? Welcome to the What's Packing Sports Show. Thank you for stopping by. We're talking about Tuesdays with Aaron and just kind of the Packers in general. And Matt LaFleur, really. We kind of been we haven't
We kind of got off track, didn't we?
we did, but hey, man, that's what happens when you just love the Packers. You just get lost in a field of
In a world of Aaron.
yeah, in a world of Aaron Rodgers. We're just like doing like skipping along, like la 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 la. Everything is great. Packers are amazing. Like so you look around and everything is just Packers. It's a field of awesomeness. A field of awesomeness. I love gold. I love that. I love that they.
That was good. That was a very good impression.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I love that they've adopted that, the I love gold thing, honestly.
I know. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
If you really think about it, like it really with the colors of the Packers and what they're doing, like it
Yeah.
just makes sense, and I'm really glad that it sticked and
Mm-hmm.
it continues to stick.
Hey, me too, as a matter of fact. Like, that's why I went out and I spray painted these Jones gold. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I spray painted them gold. I might have to do like another coat. But I spray painted them gold because, man, I'm digging it. I'm really digging the whole thing. This team, they really feel like they're like coming together, man. It does kind of give me those vibes from 2010 a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
And I really am enjoying this season, I really am, and I feel really good about it. And
Yeah.
I'm glad that they selected LaFleur, man. Did you ever have any doubts? You
Yeah,
feel
I wanted them to hire Josh McDaniels.
you wanted McDaniels, really?
Yeah.
Ah,
When I was actually really mad at first when they announced him. So, okay, my best friend's boyfriend is a Titans fan.
Okay.
So when they first hired him, they're like, he's like, oh, that's gonna be like a good choice. Like he's good at his job, blah blah. And I'm sitting here, but I don't care. Like this is who I wanted, and I'm really mad about it.
Yeah.
And like now I'm like, why did I ever act like that? Like I never even really wanted to give him a chance.
Yeah, you want to just throw your little tantrum.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I did the same thing. Honestly, I did the same thing kind of like on the draft a little bit. Like I threw my tantrum. I wasn't really
I'm
McDaniel.
still mad about that first round pick. Like, I get that, like, we might be down on AJ Dillon and stuff,
Yeah.
but just in general, like, our third round pick, that tight end, where has he been? Nowhere.
He's at well, he's
I mean, he
injured. You know,
had,
he's injured though.
I know, but
He's
that's
in.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, he played
She's like, I don't
two
care. Like
games.
that's the point. Like,
He played 2 games, he got injured. So, John Runyon, great pick, obviously. We can
yeah.
already tell that he's going to be a good long term
John
pick.
Runyon is gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, when he's gone in there, he's done really well. It's like Elton Jenkins, like when we drafted him last year. Like
Man.
that was a great pick
Yeah.
too. And then now John Runyon's, and then Kamal Martin, and like people like that. Like our later round picks just happen to be like our best picks, which are fine. That first round pick, I'm just still mad about. But I can really see this being like a whole Jimmy Garoppolo situation. You know how Patriots had Brady, and then they drafted Garoppolo, and then 2 years later they traded Garoppolo away.
Yeah,
Like
but
I can see that.
Belichick didn't want to do that. You know, Belichick. See, that was the thing about that situation, or that's like the story, I guess, around is that Belichick didn't want to really do it, but Tom was bitching and moaning to the owner, and Kraft has the, pull to say, hey, we're gonna trade this dude. You know, that's kind of like the.
You think Rodgers doesn't have the pull in the organization to do that?
No, I'm saying, but what I'm saying is. But what I'm saying is I don't know if Murphy wants to do that. The reason why that happened is because the owner sort of, I don't know if we have owners that would agree to that is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Rodgers could maybe have the pull to do that, but I don't think our owners, they really, like Belichick is the head coach and the GM essentially in New England. So he's always on the same page with himself. You know what I'm saying? But in Green Bay, and that means that he really liked Garoppolo. You know what I'm saying? If he's gonna take him, but in Green Bay, like LaFleur and the general manager are different, and they don't have a head, and they don't have like a CEO or you know what I mean to just like tell them, an owner to tell them what to do. So I don't know. I feel like they're kind of more like focused on the future and stuff, and they might not start him early, or they might not like seek to trade Rodgers if Rodgers just keeps playing great. But I don't think they're gonna get rid of Garoppolo. Like they made that choice, and I think they really like that guy. But I mean, they could trade him. That would be so interesting, man. If they did
Yeah, I
it,
guess
you know, like, but like, what would they trade him for? Like a final piece or something? You know what I mean? Like picks. Think they would trade him for picks? Like they would, if they could get 2 number ones for. But like, if you haven't seen the guy,
They would never. They would. I would say like he's not worth a first round pick because you haven't seen him play.
right?
But I
You
guess
know,
like Garoppolo was, what did they get for him, a third round pick or something like that? Because they saw him play. Like the 5 games he played in New England, he went 5-0.
yeah. And so, but when was Garoppolo drafted? Was he a first round draft pick?
I don't know. Let's look that up.
Yeah. Because that would be the real, that's what we're trying to compare here. You know, like what they got for Garoppolo. So where was he taken? But like you said, he had games. So we would need Love to get some film out there, you know, put some games on film. If that were to have that sort of like scenario.
Okay, so it said when they traded Jimmy, they got a second round pick for him.
Right. Okay. A second rounder. All right.
So he was the 62nd pick.
So that's the second round.
Yeah, he went in the second round and they got a second round.
And that's it, huh? They didn't get anything else?
Nope.
Well, he went in the first, so if they got a second for him, I'd be kind of blown. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. It just depends on how he plays. That's what I'm like. If there's a point in time where, Rodgers happens to, like, mess up his leg or something again.
Knock on wood.
For a 4-game streak, and they see Jordan Love playing, he looks good, but not good enough where it's just like, like Aaron Rodgers is still playing
Yeah.
really phenomenal, and they want to sign him for another couple of years. Like, I don't know.
Ooh,
It's
you
just
think that?
you
I
know.
see. I don't think they re-sign Aaron. I think they let it play out like the last.
Well, he only has one more year on his contract. He said he wants to play till he's 40.
Mm.
So if he plays through 2021 season, if he wants to play till he's 40, that's only 2 more years. So realistically, they could just like not trade Jordan Love and sign Aaron Rodgers to 2 more years, and then Rodgers
I,
retires, and then pick up Jordan Love's 5th-year option, and that's when he becomes a starter.
hold up. So this is 2020. So you saying that he's on the contract till when?
The end of the 2021 season. So basically 2022.
Right, 2022. Right. Okay. So
Yeah, so the beginning of the 2022 season, if they don't re-sign Rodgers,
are you sure he's not
yeah.
2022?
Unless you think it's through 2022.
Honestly, for some reason I want to 2 years. For some reason I want to say 2024. He's on contract until 2024.
Oh no.
Cause I thought it was like I thought they were saying like if he played out his career, it would be right up to Jordan Love's 4th year, and they'd have to give him the option to extend him to just even see if he could play.
No,
So
I definitely know that's okay. Let's see.
I think it's 2024. I wish we could have a chat right
So
now.
he has an out in 2022.
Okay.
In 2018, he signed a 4-year contract. So maybe it goes through.
It was an extension though. It was a 4-year extension. That's the thing. He still had 2 years left on his deal when he signed it, and they signed an extension to give him an extra 4 years. But they kind of just signed it early, like they just extended to give him some more money. You know what I'm saying? He had 2 years left, and then they extended him 4 more years just to give him more money and shit.
Oh, okay. Okay, see, I didn't know that. I thought his contract was completely up.
No, it was an extension. Does it say that right there? On my.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. It just says there's an out in 2022.
Yeah, I do know. Oh, an out. Yeah, I know he goes from making like 30 million to like 17 or like of dead cap or something to like in that 2022 year, I think it'd only be like 11 million or something like really small of dead cap. And if they wanted to trade him.
Okay, yeah. So in 2020 he makes 51 million.
Yeah, woo, doggy. 51 million.
2021 he makes 31 million.
Yeah.
In 2022 he makes 17 million, and in 2023 he makes 3 million.
But in 2020, right? So he's still on contract, right?
Right.
Through
yeah.
20. So.
Okay, so yeah, you're right. See, I didn't know that he still had 2 more years on his contract.
Yeah.
To be signed. I thought when he signed that 4-year contract, I thought that meant that he only had the 4 years.
Nah, it was an extension. Really, the point was just to kind of give him, because at this time I think Tannehill just got that money, and who else had just got paid? There was a couple of guys who had just got paid at that time, and they were saying like, well, Rodgers now was the 5th highest paid guy or something like that, and it's like, and these other 4 guys, because this was before even Mahomes got paid, and they were saying like these other 4 guys are not better quarterbacks than Aaron Rodgers. He wants to get an extension, and so they did. They extended him 4 more years. They gave him like $125 million in new money or some crazy shit, and
yeah, because he signed a 4-year, $134 million.
Okay, yeah.
Contract.
100. I said 125, so 134 in new money, and so much of it was guaranteed. I think 100 was guaranteed. So he got paid. He got fucking paid, man. Can you imagine looking at your bank account one day? Oh, there goes another $120 million. Like I didn't have yesterday.
Okay, so then maybe he really does just. So since there's an out in 2022, that's maybe what people were thinking.
Yeah.
Because there's not that much dead cap if they trade
Yes.
after 2022. So that's probably why I also thought about
And
that.
even though it's 17 million, I think the dead cap would only be like 11 or something. It's not even the full amount.
It would be like a crazy amount where it's not worth it.
You can just in the yard because you have Jordan for dirt fucking cheap. You know what I'm saying? Like he's so like 11 million. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We'll eat that if we could get like 2 first rounds or 2 first rounds. Like what would you want to trade for Rodgers? That becomes a question. If we go back, okay, we go back to regular world, right? The vaccine's here. People can take it if they want to. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But we can all just go back and to our lives of going to bars and live events and gathering together as crazy sports fans. And for some, maybe they're just blowing teams out, and Jordan gets a couple of games in there, or maybe in the preseason. If they don't get rid of it, I think they really want to get rid of the preseason, but
I think they said they were cutting it
just
down
the
to
two,
two
right? But
spots.
eventually, I feel like they want to just, hey, fuck it, make a play 20 game season. You know what I'm saying? But we need those
But
last two.
they did say that the Players Association like passed the 17 game season.
Yeah.
So what, 18 weeks or whatever it is.
Yes, 17 game season, so that everybody would get two buys, which I kind of like that as a healthy. I like that as a compromise. I think that's a good compromise. You extend it to 17 games. Because honestly, and I was just thinking about this with my top 10. When I think about my top 10 teams, at first I didn't like the extra playoff team. But the thing about the NFL is by adding an extra playoff team, what they have done is made every single game count even more. Because even in week 16 and week 15, it was like playoff football, basically. Because teams needed to really.
There's literally 5 teams in the AFC that are 10-5 vying for those
Okay.
4 spots.
So,
It's crazy.
and because that extra slot was added, all those teams that were last year in 2020, in 2019, all those 8-8 teams, 7 and some teams, and 9 and some teams, they went ahead, and like you said, now it's 5 teams at 10-5. But even last year, and there's still other teams that could get in at the 9 and the 8 range in some places, especially the NFC East. Like everybody can almost get in that thing. In the NFC, depends on who wins and who loses and by how much. Should the Washington might no Philly still no, actually I think Philly is eliminated, but Washington,
Philly's like the only one that's
yeah,
eligible if they get it.
and that's only because they lost last week. If they would have won last week, they'd still be in it. Every single team in that division would still be in it right now for a playoff spot. And that makes everything interesting every single game. And that's what the NFL did by adding this extra slot. And I hated it at first, and I just thought it was like a money grab. But afterwards, I'm like, man, this is why I love the NFL, because every game matters. You get 80-something games in hockey and 80-something games in NBA and 150, 60 games in baseball, whatever it is, and 7-game series, and every game matters for the NFL from 1 to 16. You get one shot in the playoffs, one chance. Any given Sunday. It ain't any given Sunday in baseball or hockey, or because it's every damn day.
There's so many. Yeah,
Come
there's
on.
really so many games.
Any
And there's
given.
a lot of teams that there's teams that make the playoffs in basketball and stuff that are under 500 by a significant amount.
Yes.
They don't go 41 and 41. They'll go 30 and 52.
Right. Right.
It's bro, what?
Yeah.
Come on.
Right.
And I get NFC East can possibly do that type of thing, but I'm just saying, because there's so many more games. It's just you're telling me if you took away 10 games, would it be that big of a difference in basketball compared to if you take away one game in the NFL?
It's the difference between first place and being able to get healthy and just kind of prepare and second place now, which is you have to play a game. You get it at home, but you have to play a game, man. That bye. I mean, so if they add 17 games to it, and I like this conversation, we weren't really planning on it, but I mean, I'm rolling with it because I think it's an interesting conversation. It's just you give them another bye, so everyone kind of because sometimes it's some people have an advantage, right? You have an early bye, week 4 bye or week 5 bye. That sucks, You want that week 9 or 10 bye where it's okay, maybe guys are a little banged up. We can give them some health. And I even saw this week.
I didn't mean to.
No, go ahead.
I was actually talking to my mom. My mom's a huge football fan. She loves the Raiders.
Okay.
I was talking to her about this type of stuff with the early bye and stuff because the Steelers were originally supposed to have a week 8 bye, and then obviously COVID happened, all this other stuff happened, and they went to week 4, I believe.
Yeah.
And they had that 3-game stretch, almost 4, if they wouldn't have came back against the Colts, where they literally couldn't play. They really weren't themselves. They have injuries. They have, and all this stuff. They're literally resting Ben against the Browns next week because he has another, a minor injury.
Wow.
It's just those early buys.
Yeah.
Your team, we're exhausted.
Yeah.
We don't have breaks.
Yeah.
Everything. that get screwed over that have a week 4, 5, 6 bye, it's worth it.
Yeah. So you got one more game. The games matter even more. And honestly, if they did that, I would like to see them have the last 2 weeks of the season. I would like to see them have the last 2 weeks of the season just be divisional games. You know? And somebody said we had a little guest on Talk Sports said can't see y'all. I know, man. I had a little bit of technical difficulty with the camera. For some reason, I feel like I got really excited and I hit the table, and then it just went, and the camera went. I was like, oh snap! I was like maybe I messed up the frequency. I have no idea. But yeah, it just stopped showing us. But I'm gonna keep us talking because I can just edit in the graphic later, and I'm still gonna put it up on YouTube later on the What's Packing Sports Show YouTube channel. But thanks for stopping in. Broken ankles. Sorry, man. I know, like, I kind of want to, like, maybe we should restart. I was just kind of going through with it, but I'm thinking maybe we should restart, maybe, so people can see. People seem to want to see us.
Right.
Which yeah, I understand. Yeah, I just looked at it and I wasn't gonna stop it, but I did see that it went out though. You down to just rebooting it? I mean, I'm not going back but to finish the conversation, to finish because we have like one or two more topics.
Yeah.
All right. So just I'm gonna do I'm gonna like just send you another link.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I think we're still live. So I'm just gonna do the link so we can get the audio going. And I mean, so we get the video going with it as well. And so let me just give me a second, guys. It has to convert what we had. This probably. Yeah, I'm trying to get something else up here real quick. So while we take a little production break. Let's see. Image. That's what I want. I'm gonna go here, put like a little "be right back" or something for y'all. Graphics. Templates. Is it thumbnails? Boom. Nah, it's templates. Yeah. We're gonna so I guess the video dropped out, and I'm trying to just get back into it's converting though. Oh, you stopped it. Oh, you stopped. You can convert your recording later in meetings record. Okay, yeah. Stop. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna just join a new meeting. Trying to get her back on the show. Bam. So I'm gonna do this. There we go. All right. Now I gotta invite Savannah Dean back. Trying to get the video back for y'all, man. Appreciate y'all just sticking with it. It's your boy Godchild, first of his name. Broken ankles, man. Thank you for stopping by. Get Stone Talk Sports. Thank you for stopping by. We are getting Savannah Dean back. Trying to get us back on the getting the video. It went out for a second and I wasn't gonna bother it, but since y'all mentioned it, man, I'm gonna go ahead on and try to get this thing back going. Sometimes it goes out. I'm not really. Maybe it could be my bit rates. If anybody knows why my video kind of drops out like that, if you could help me out, I would appreciate that. Like, if you know a reason, if you know why that happens, it's weird. It could be because of that, right? I'm assuming. Image capture. Maybe the bit rates, because I could. It was one of those things that was like I don't know. I don't know why it happens. Doesn't make sense, you know. Doesn't make sense. So I'm waiting for Savannah Dean to get back on the Zoom. You guys getting behind the scenes look. This is what happens on a live show. You know, sometimes sometimes the feed goes out, but you just get that technical difficulty thing when it's like a live studio, an actual broadcast studio. You just get the technical difficulty jump. But for me, you know what I'm saying, you get to actually see the whole you get to see the whole behind the scenes. We don't cut the commercials. We let you see it. And we got Savannah Dean back with us. Hey.
Hi.
Hey. I was just explaining to the people what was going on, you know, why we had to reboot it. Do you ever remember that show? It was a show called Reboot. You ever seen that show? No, man, that was a great show. It was kind of futuristic. It was kind of ahead of its time. It was like a cartoon on like a Toonami. You know Toonami? You ever seen Toonami? What? You never watched like Cartoon Network and shit like that? You're not into anime at all?
I mean, I did when I was like really young, but I feel like I was more Nickelodeon than me.
So you're not into anime. Have you ever like watched anime or like seen anime?
Not really.
Oh wow, Dragon Ball Z?
No.
Dang. Okay. Wow. All right, man. Savannah Dean said, I'm on Nickelodeon. She's Nickelodeon. She's not anime. I loved anime. I still do love anime, honestly. And but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the Packers. We're talking Packers, baby. We were talking about Matt LaFleur, and we were talking about. We got off on a nice little tangent about Aaron Rodgers and the Jordan Love and the draft and what would they get for him? And I was about to ask you that. What would you want to get for Aaron Rodgers? But then we also were talking about the seasons that they had of 10 or less and 11 or more. And even if you take out that one season, it still is like advantage kind of 10 or less, which, I mean, isn't bad because those are still winning seasons in there. And I feel like some teams at 10 or less they would have just as many or even more, 10 or less. And they wouldn't even be like not the 10s. Like the Packers had a couple, like 3 or 4 of those were 10 and 6 seasons, weren't they? Mm-hmm. So it's like, definitely winning football. But when you just look at it like that, it's like, okay, this team has been up and down no matter what the reasons was. They haven't had just a lot of seasons where it's just like really back-to-back dominance since really, 2010 to 2011. And I would say the 2011 season was 15-1, and it was their best season in franchise history. And it's like, but to me, that is even way more. That's more dominant than the 10-6 season. The 10-6 season, like, it looks better on paper, but when you watched it, you was like, man, they were really up and down. They were really up and down that season, especially offensively. It was Rodgers, like, kind of like second year starting, and I guess they did have a lot of injuries, which really that's what fucked them up. They had like 15 people on injured reserve, I think, or something crazy that year. But they were still pretty defensively. They were still pretty dominant. I remember that. They were still pretty dominant defensively, but this team, 13-3 back-to-back, I would say that's a better back-to-back, seasons than 10-6 to 15-1. Would you say?
Yeah.
Do you think they've been more?
I did think about it for a second, but yeah, I would say.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're looking back at it, you're like, yeah, that 10 and like these are probably the 2 best seasons they've had so far. You know what I mean? Back to back. It's like which one would you take, or which one do you feel like was the better team? That's the question. This 2010 to 2011 team, or this 13-3 to 13-3. Ooh, what if you could put those teams?
That 2010 team was literally loaded.
It was. It was.
Like literally loaded.
Yeah. It was. But what if you took the 10-6 team to the 15-1 team versus this 13-3 team back to back? Who do you think would come out on top?
No one's stopping that 2011 offense. I don't care how good that defense is this season. No one's stopping that offense.
Okay.
Except for the New York Giants.
Yeah, right. The New York Giants and the Kansas City Chiefs. But there was an injury in that game. I think Bulaga or somebody got hurt and really threw things off. But I don't know, man. You don't think?
I can't really say.
You don't think? I think I'll say this. I think that this I like this pass rush better. I mean, we had
the 2011 defense sucked.
Yeah.
That was like
So-
the worst defense I've really ever seen in my life.
and so that's what I'm saying. So okay, go ahead.
So that's what I'm saying. And the offense, like, I mean, our offense now would obviously be able to beat that defense. Like 2020.
That's what I'm saying. Because when you think about 20,
But the 2011 offense would be able to beat our 2020 defense. Like they might have a couple more stops, but just in general, that offense.
but I'm not talking about just offense versus defense. I'm talking about team versus team. So if you take the same team, right, and you giving them a better defense, I like them going against the same team with the worst defense. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
we have the better version of the defense. So but just as good a version of the offense. So I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Is this 13-3 back-to-back version of the Packers their best version that we've seen of them
Right.
under Matt LaFleur?
I feel like as a whole team, like yes, because we actually have a balanced team right now.
Okay.
Like 2011 offense was just so good that our defense sucked and it didn't matter. But now it's like obviously our offense is great, but our defense is also really good. So
Yeah.
we have a better balanced team right now.
I mean, I wanted to see it consistently, and I would definitely want to see it against the right kind of team, and they proved that to me against the Titans. And I know that statistically they're a top 10 team, and they've been playing like it the last 4 weeks. I mean, it's been trending up the last 4 weeks, and this was like kind of the game that really, I guess, solidified it and kind of cemented it. And it's like, we just need to get this. We get this moving forward, man, yeah. This is going to be fun to watch. And let me see. Oh, yeah, we're still having some little. I mean, this is up to date, but when I go on Twitch,
Chiefs to rest Patrick Mahomes in Week 17.
really,
Yes.
wow, that's kind of interesting.
Literally just got on the NFL app. It's the head news. It says 20 minutes ago.
Wow, the Chiefs are gonna rest him, huh?
Yep.
That's why. I don't know about. I mean, I guess they don't need it, but man, we actually have.
I mean, they have the number one seed locked up. And
Yeah.
You know what? A lot of people are saying now that Rodgers is gonna win the MVP, and like Patrick Mahomes is probably more focused on the Super Bowl right now, which is fine. But you know, Rodgers wants it all because he thinks he's gonna retire soon. So like, Patrick Mahomes is probably like, it's fine. All rest. We have the number one seed. The
Yeah.
Packers yet don't have the number one seed.
Yeah.
But, you know, so I just feel like Mahomes is probably like, I'll give
But
you one more. You
let-
asked for it. I'll give it to you. There you go. Gift.
Damn, that's how they're gonna spin it in the media. Mahomes allows. Oh my gosh, you know Skip Bayless. Patrick Mahomes is just allowing Aaron Rodgers to have the MVP because he knows he's not gonna. He's gonna probably want Brady to get back in the conversation or something. It's like look. I mean that's interesting. I mean, yeah, but how do you feel about that though? Do you like rest? I'm the kind of person I really don't like my teams to have too much rest going into the playoffs. I mean, if you need to get healthy, that's one.
Because we're the Packers and we never went off of a bye.
No, I mean last year they did though. Last year
Yeah, we did beat Seattle
they
after the
beat they
bye.
beat Seattle after the bye. But I mean, yeah, I'm kind of with you honestly. Like I haven't liked their performances recently after buys. So I was wondering to myself, like, do I even want them to have a bye? You know, like maybe I want them to play in the first round and just keep their momentum going. But if they win this week, they're gonna have the bye. So, and we already said unless we get that perfect 10 out of 10 game, we're not fucking with that lose. Get a.
Right,
some people are like, yeah, man,
exactly.
get a loss just out the way, like kind of like uh well, I don't want to say that.
No.
But nah, fuck that. So I had a dirty joke there I was gonna make, but I'm gonna.
Oh, okay.
uh, but it's like, yeah, man, just play. Exactly, just play, man. So, but they're gonna rest Mahomes. Like, does he have an injury, or they're just resting him just because?
No, they're just resting him.
Oh no, I don't agree with that, man. Fuck that. I don't agree with that.
Really?
No, I want them to stay in the rhythm, man. Like, don't mess up their rhythm. Let them keep going. You don't have to play him the whole game. If he's playing bad, they're like, if it's close and they still going to be up or something. But I wanted him keep in his game day routine. You can maybe just play in the first half, give him a couple series. I just don't want him to be completely cold if you don't have to. That's kind of
Yeah.
that's just kind of like my feel on it. But you know, if
Yeah,
it,
I'm just trying to think like teams that I feel like. So I think it's smart, wise to for the Steelers to rest Ben, not just because of his like minor injury that he has, but they already know they don't have the first round bye. They
facts,
know that they're going to have to be playing in the wild card weekend. So it's
yeah,
like that's a good week to rest. But like teams that have the first round bye, like the Chiefs, like you obviously don't want to take the chance that Mahomes gets hurt,
yeah,
but just in general, like you really want him to take like 2 football weeks, but 3 full weeks off. Because if he's not playing, like yeah, he's still in the weight room, he's still probably practicing, but he's not going to play. And then he has a week after that, and then he has a week after that before
yeah,
the bye. So like I don't agree with that, but
yeah.
like if the Bills, I don't know, if the Steelers win, and then like and the Bills, like if they don't want to play Josh Allen because they know they're going to be playing wild card weekend, that's up to them too.
Yeah. I mean, hey,
But I think that's a fine choice.
yeah, fine choice. You made it sound like they're like we're selecting a wine. That's a fine choice. That is a fine choice you've made there to sit your quarterback. Vintage decision. Look, I mean, I don't know. I'm just like play to win the games. You play to win the games. As a not who said that. You play to Herman Edwards. You play to win the games. Like, so, hey man, I want to play to win. So I mean, starting the guys and shit, let them stay in. And it's like, man, injuries happen. Like I don't know. Like I don't want to sound too reckless with it, but I also kind of believe like when the NFL, when they stop limiting the amount of tackling they could do in the preseason, not preseason, but the like training camps and stuff like that. I feel like guys only started getting more like soft tissue kind of injuries because their bodies just weren't used to being hit and flung around and taken down and twisted and shit. And so it just made
Right.
them like that, those kind of movements or whatever. It just, those kind of injuries started going up, and they wanted to get away from the concussions, and I understand that, but it's like, Devontae Adams has had some games where he had some horrible hits and concussions, and then he played like the next week. I feel like he would, players rather have that than somebody goes after their leg or hits them low or whatever, and now I can't play for the rest of the season or the next 6 weeks, and I'm gonna miss the playoff. It's like,
Yeah.
and then they don't tackle as well. But um, I just think I don't know. I'd rather them play when it comes down to it.
Right.
But like you said, it is a fine decision. I do kind of get it. I do kind of get it. To keep it 100, I do kind of get it. Were you looking something up?
Yeah, I'm songs, but I can't find anything else. Because I
Okay.
wanted to see like if someone came out and exactly said why,
Yeah.
but they don't have any statements from any
Yeah.
coaches or anything. They just said he said.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, right. So you said I just want to rest him, but hey, the Packers will get the most likely get the bye, man, and uh,
Hopefully.
yeah, hopefully. I really.
I'm not saying anything because you know what? I didn't think we were gonna lose against the Vikings and then we lost.
Yeah,
So
but I mean, but they're playing much better now, right? You know what I'm saying? They're playing much better.
right, like we let them. In a way, you can look at it like we let them start their winning streak.
Yeah, we
Even though we
did.
didn't make the playoffs, like we let them
Yeah, the
start their winning
Vikings.
streak.
Yeah, I mean, they did kind of do that with the Vikings, but at the same time, it's like, you right, but right, even all more like we said to crush their souls now, you know, with the Vikings,
Yeah.
they started it, but then they're still gonna be they're not gonna make it. I don't think. Well, I guess if hold on, but if the Bears lose, do the Vikings get in?
No, the Vikings are already eliminated.
They're all right. They're out. Yeah. So
Yeah, so it's
be
basically
gone,
like
Vikings.
so if we beat the Bears,
Yeah, we get the
but
number one.
Arizona loses, then Chicago gets in. But if we beat the Bears are winning in. Like if they beat us, they're in. But if we beat them and Arizona loses, they're still in. So
Really?
basically, even if,
Damn, we
yeah,
can
even
still
if
play
they
these
lose,
motherfuckers again.
yeah. So even if they do lose, Arizona has to lose, and if Arizona loses, then Chicago still gets in.
And I think Arizona's gonna win because they got the Rams,
Who's
but
their backup quarterback?
I don't.
Who's the Rams backup quarterback? They're both gonna have backup quarterbacks.
Who? Murray's not playing either.
No, not that I know of. He has a hamstring injury. I'm pretty sure. And
What?
Jared Goff had surgery on his broken thumb.
I didn't know Murray wasn't playing either.
I thought they said that he was like highly doubtful.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, I did not know that. I ain't know Murray wasn't playing either. Dang.
I
Huh.
don't even know who their backup quarterback is.
But I don't know. I don't either. That's
Yeah.
that's crazy.
It says he was able to practice on Wednesday, though. I'm looking.
Okay, yeah,
But it says he was able to practice on Wednesday, which probably means, but just in general.
yeah.
Chris, I don't even know who that is.
Exactly. Like that's gonna be an interesting game. Like, and that kind of leads into like our last segment we talked about, right? Like possibly previewing the playoffs.
Who this is?
You know what I mean?
Do you see that name, Chris something?
Chris. I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know, but this him. I don't know who
That's
that
the
is.
backup for who?
For the Cardinals.
For the Cardinals. All right, man. This is your time to shine,
South
buddy.
Dakota. He's from South Dakota. He's 25.
He went to South Dakota university.
It just says college, South Dakota.
Oh wow, okay. I actually know some people from South Dakota. That's interesting. But playoff scenario. So do we know who are the possible? So if the Packers if the Packers get the bye, right, and they become the number one seed, they have we're just gonna go with that because that's the scenario that we're currently in right now.
Right.
They sit at number one. So if it started today, they go number one, and they would play the winner between the 2-7 matchup, right? Like how does that
No,
like
the lowest.
the lowest remaining seed? So it'll either be the winner between the 2-7 matchup, or the winner between the 5 whatever the other game.
It just depends. If the Saints, the Seahawks, and Washington all win, like if the division winners all win their game, we would play Washington because that's the lowest remaining seed.
But who does Washington play? Right. Okay. Yeah. Washington will be playing.
Right now, they would play the Bears.
Really?
Yeah, because the
I thought it was always the highest seeds plays the lower seeds. So like number 2 would take on number. Oh right. That's no, but you're right. But you're right. You're right. But you know what? I was even still thinking that Washington had the lower record, but they are the 4 seed because they won their 4th. They're the 4th lowest division winner, so they're still the 4th seed, which is crazy.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
So they would take on the 5.
So as of right now, if everything's set up, Washington would take on the Bucks.
Ooh.
Seattle would take on the Rams, and the Saints would take on the Bears. So because Tampa Bay's 5, Rams are 6, Bears are 7. So if that happens, like if everything happens like that,
the lowest
remaining seed, we could play anywhere from the Bears, the Rams, the Bucks, or the Washington football team. So we have four options that we could play technically.
Okay, so hold up.
Lowest remaining seed for the winner.
So you say it could be the Bucks, it could be the Rams, and it could be who else?
The Bears or Washington.
Wow. Okay. Hmm. Which
Yeah, and that's if the Cardinals don't get in. I don't know if the
exactly
Rams
right.
get
I
in.
was just I was just thinking that too.
You just gotta think if the Rams end up winning, then that means the Cardinals lose and the Bears are in. But if the Cardinals end up winning, that means it would be Tampa Bay, Rams, Cardinals instead of the Bears.
Tampa Bay, Rams. Okay, Cardinals. Ooh, man,
Yeah.
look. Have you watched any of these other teams much, or do you have opinions on them?
Honestly, my dad is a huge Tom Brady fan, which is very
Okay.
annoying. So when I was actually in Florida with him for week one,
Right. Okay.
we watched the Saints Bucks game, and so I watched a lot of Buccaneers games actually, and I watched almost all the Saints games and almost all of Seattle's games. Seattle is such an up and down
Yeah.
team.
Yeah.
And the Saints went on that long winning streak. Like I'm looking
Yeah.
like they're probably the team that I'm like scared of. I know we've already beat them, but
Yeah.
honestly we would have to like put that over our heads and just completely forget about
Yes.
it. Because you can't
You can't.
you know
Yeah.
and like same with the loss to Tampa Bay. If we were to play them, like we would have to put that behind us. We can't think, oh shit, and get in our heads like we like lost, we sucked against them last time,
Yeah.
vice versa with the Saints.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen many of the Cardinals games, and I haven't seen many of the Rams games. I've only seen if they played in prime time.
Yeah, I mean the Rams I haven't really watched like at all. Maybe a little bit on like the red zone and shit, but even on then it's like I don't watch much of it. And but I have seen like the Cardinals a little bit more, and I'll say their defense kind of I feel like they have pieces on there. They have a lot of nice little pieces on that defense. Excuse me, and it kind of reminds me of like just like they just need to maybe gel a little bit more, or their guys are just need to like mature one more year. But they had some flashes, man. This one dude had like a record for sacks from like a linebacker position or something or like the safety position or something. He had like 5 sacks in a game or some crap. Like the number 40 is 40 something, man, for the Cardinals. He just came back or something. I want to look it up now, but did you hear it? Do you remember hearing anything something like that? I'm trying to remember the dude's name. But it's like
I just feel like the Cardinals, if the Cardinals and the Rams get in and we take out Chicago, I feel like the Rams are the most questionable team in the playoffs.
okay.
Because they literally have had phenomenal games where I'm like, holy crap, this looks like the Jared Goff and Rams that went to the
Super Bowl. And that's so crazy that was only like 2 Super Bowls ago,
Right.
It's like,
right.
damn.
Now it's like, well, what the heck? Like, I don't know. Like,
Yeah. I mean,
I still feel like they're like the most questionable team because, almost every team is going to have a bad game.
yeah.
Or maybe 2 bad games.
Yeah.
The Rams have had like 5 bad
yeah.
games. And some of their wins haven't even been like
That great.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like it just depends on
Outstandingly phenomenal.
It sounds cliche, but it just depends on if they turn it on or not.
Yeah.
I feel like they're the most questionable team in the NFC playoffs.
I like that, outstandingly phenomenal. And I mean, it's like I just think it's always difficult anytime you have a quarterback who's as mobile as Kyler Murray is. You just can't never plan for when that's always going to be a threat, and that can always sort of like help your team out if it's struggling. But then there are times when that player being able to do that can just completely dominate the game, and it's not really something you can really practice for, because the reason why he's so dominant is because he's unique. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has a unique skill set, so you're not gonna have someone you can really practice that on. You can try to practice the scenarios, but it's like in that situation, the guy you have pretending to be Kyler Murray isn't Kyler Murray, so you're not really getting practice defending Kyler Murray. You get what I'm saying? You're just getting practice with the idea of it, I guess.
You do that, and you can watch all the tape that you want, and it's not going
Yeah, it may not. He hasn't had just like you said. What did you say? Phenomenally spectacular. What did you say?
Outstandingly
Outstandingly,
phenomenal.
outstandingly phenomenal. He hasn't had outstandingly phenomenal games every game, but
Right.
he does have like plays. When you're like, ooh, dang, this dude is special. You know what I'm saying? Even if they lose a game, he's not playing great. He still has a few plays every game where it's like, damn, this, and that's so unpredictable. It's like when Michael Vick was having that kind of breakout year, and he came into Lambeau, and we had never lost in the playoffs, and all this other kind of stuff. Did you see that game? Do you remember that game?
I mean, I remember it, but
Yeah,
like not like significantly
yeah,
enough to
yeah.
where.
Cause that was, yeah. You're probably too young to remember it really.
What year was that?
Oh man, it had to be like 2000 and it was before Rogers, so like two.
Yeah, because
two
I didn't even really start getting into football until about 2007, which I was
oh
in eighth
yeah,
grade.
it had to be like early, like kind of mid 2000s. I'm assuming maybe like 2000. Wow. Now we're gonna look it up. Gonna look
Yeah,
it up.
yeah, because
When did
I was going into seventh grade
Michael
in
okay
2008.
Vick
So that's when I
beat
kind of started
Green?
like really getting into football. So like stuff, anything before that, it's like I know of it, but like I don't
I'm I want to take a guess
like.
before I hit search. I'm gonna say it was maybe like 2000 and 5 or some shit. 2004, 2005.
Yeah.
Let me see. When was Michael Vick traded? Michael Vick 2000 and ooh, wow. No, it was way earlier than that. It was 2002.
Oh yeah.
2002, yeah. the
Like I
22,
was 6 years old, but I
yeah.
remember
The
that.
22-year-old improvisational genius led the Atlanta Falcons to a 27-7 upset at the Packers in the wild-card playoff before a record crowd of 65,000 stunned souls. Yeah, man, I remember
Wow.
that game. Yeah.
Interesting headline.
No, it wasn't a headline. It was like the opening, kind of in the opening paragraph. I just wanted to read it.
Oh,
But like,
gotcha.
no, the paragraph was behind Vic, Falcons in Packers home playoff rule. And yeah, up until that point, up to 2002, that playoff game, that wildcard game, the Packers had never lost a game at home in the playoffs, and that was huge, man. Like,
They've only ever lost 2 games in the playoffs, isn't it? Or 2 games under Rodgers at home, maybe.
yeah, so it's just like, but I mean, from the beginning of the Lambeau era to that moment, it's like, I mean Lombardi era to that moment, it was like to never have, if we get a home playoff game, we're gonna win,
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Like we've done it every single time. So it's like when Michael Vick came in, he was just like dazzling the NFL. It was like, damn, I had a feeling he was gonna do it to him, and he did, man. And it was just like, it was kind of like amazing to watch, but at the same time, it was hurt. It was hurt, man. There was this one play specifically where this guy, his name was KBG, Kabir Baja Bia Miller. That was his name, Kabir Baja.
I am proud of you for remembering
Yeah,
that.
Kabir Baja Bia Miller, KBG. And man, he had a chance of Michael Vick on the sideline, and he just like, it was in the snow too. It was like snowing, you know what I mean? We were like, he's not gonna be able to run around in the snow, and he surely did run around in the snow, man. And it was just, I don't know, it was just crazy. It was just really crazy. But if they get home, but Rogers is talking about that. He wants that home playoff experience. The way the Titans came up in there and weren't able to do anything. You know, they embraced the cold. And Rodgers feels very comfortable in it. So, hey, man, if we get some snowy games in Lambeau, the playoffs, no matter who comes up in there, I like their chances. You know what I'm saying? I really do like
Yeah.
their chances. There are some teams, though, like, honestly, I really feel like people are sleeping on Washington. Like, I've watched a lot of their games, and I'm not saying they're, like, amazing, but there's something to be said for a team, to me, that just has an identity, and they just kind of stick to it no matter what. And I feel like them understanding that just kind of allows them to say, we're going to be in every game. We're like, unless we have some kind of injury or something happen, we don't feel like we're gonna get blown out. And we feel like even if we do if it slips away a little bit, we're gonna be able to do something to kind of keep it close because they do have some kind of weapons. And like you said, man, if they had Alex Smith, those games, I watched those games, and I was like, if they had Alex Smith, I don't think he makes some of those mistakes. And the team can play a little bit different style of offense, and because they were getting the ball back, man. That defense is pretty ferocious. That defense is pretty. I mean, Chase Young he took over that game. He had a forced fumble, he had a recovered forced fumble. I mean, he was just getting sacks and pressure. I was like, damn, man, this kid looks really good, Chase Young. And it's like, he's from Maryland. He's from he's from around this area, so it's like, damn, they just don't. He went to oh yes, yeah. Yeah. So it's like, man, I think they have a shot to like make some noise, maybe upset somebody. So it's kind of like when
talking crap about the NFC East.
Yeah.
Washington would come and destroy one of the teams.
I mean, and they
destroy,
but yeah. And like you said, I mean, that would have been an impressive 5-game winning streak, right? I think, but because Smith had won a few in a row, and so already was it 2 or 3 here running in a row?
Something like that, 2 or 3.
Yeah,
and they put Dwayne Haskins in the last 2.
Yeah. So that would be like
at least 4
or 5-game winning streak to end the season, plus like with one more more game to go, and like really just like kind of keep the momentum going. Like I really was liking him. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see how Alex Smith is going to be. I mean, the Bucks are they had a little dip too. They had they started out a little slow, then they went on a run. They beat us, and that was part of their narrative. Oh, they destroyed the Packers, the number 1 team in offense, and then they had then they slipped up,
Right.
And now they're kind of back on the upside again. And I think that they had some slip, like a little bit of a lull, because when they introduced Antonio Brown, that kind of threw things off offensively for them. And they had to sort of figure that out again. And now that they have, I think they're playing pretty good football too, to be honest with you. Like, there's going to be some interesting competition for the Packers, man. But I think they've shown themselves with the kind of wins they've had and just the way they've been able to turn it around defensively. I think they showed that, they should be the favorite in any game they play in, though. Do you think there could still be?
I mean, yeah, because I can literally see them destroying any team, but I can also see them falling apart because, like, I really can't see them beating any team in the NFL right now. But just in general, it's if you have a good defensive line. Just a good defensive line in general without thinking about any other defense, any other part of the defense.
Yeah.
You put pressure on Brady because he does not know how to maneuver outside of the pocket.
Yeah.
If you put pressure on him, the whole team falls apart.
Yeah.
Because then what do you do? Because he doesn't know what to do. He throws it away or he throws interceptions.
Because he can't really do anything. Brady doesn't have – he's not mobile at all. So, like, he just – honestly, a lot of times you just see him just, like, fold. Like, if he's about to get hit, he knows it. He doesn't even try to throw it away. He just goes like this and just takes the sack and all that shit. Like, yeah. So, I agree with you there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, even if you don't have a phenomenal defensive line, if they're having a good day, they can very well disrupt the Bucs. That's literally how you beat them.
Yeah.
I remember seeing a specific stat before we played them that Tom Brady's, like, passer rating, like, not under pressure was, like, 120 something at this point in time for week 5, and then when under pressure it was like 49 point something.
Wow, yeah.
Like, he literally does not play well under pressure. Like, he can't do it this season.
I mean, that's kind of always been his MO. That's how the Giants beat him twice, even with New England and those great teams.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but that's kind of any quarterback. But when you have a mobile person, you can't really always sell out because, yeah, if you miss, they can't take advantage of it. And then there are times when, like, even when not under pressure, he won't or he can't really try to, like, just pick up a first down or kind of make a play if it's not just with his arm. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes even like how Rodgers gets out the pocket and he throws on the run and he just Like he's having a special year, man. He's having a special year, and I really think that he should get the MVP. I really think he should. Even if Mahomes played, I think Rodgers, and he has a chance. He has a chance to kind of have one more. They sometimes it's weird. Like they usually get the Bears tough. The Bears play them pretty tough, but there have been some years where Packers have put up like 50 on the Bears, man. They've kind of like dogged them a few times in Rodgers' career, so it's kind of I'll be interested to see, like.
Do you watch Good Morning Football?
I don't watch it all the time, but I do watch it. Yeah, I do watch it
Okay,
sometimes.
so Kyle Brandt, I'm excited to see like some of the shows or whatever this week, like more of the shows this week, and we
Yeah.
start talking about the games and stuff. Because all Kyle Brandt does when they go to play the Bears is call Aaron Rodgers Pennywise, because that's literally who he is. Like he's this scary guy that's like gonna come and like eat you alive, and, like gonna just like destroy you in your life, and that's what every single time
Yeah.
that he talks about the Packers playing any NFC North Division
Yeah.
rival, that's literally that's what he talks about.
Yeah.
So that's how it is. Like he's like the Bears barely ever beat them. Like,
Yeah.
if they beat them, I'll like literally be shocked. Like basically,
Yeah.
that's what he said.
Hey,
Every single time.
Aaron Rodgers even said that on the McAfee show. He was like, Pat asked him about his experience with no fans on the road and how he had. Did you see it? Did you see this Tuesdays with Aaron?
I've watched the clips that
Yeah.
on Twitter.
And it's like so, but I don't know if they showed it in the clips, but he definitely was telling him like his favorite places to play, or he asked him, is there any other place besides Lambeau that you like to play? He said Soldier Field, because we've had some good ones up there. So it's like he feels right at home. He feels at home in Soldier Field. He's really good. They're undefeated in Dallas, right? Are they undefeated in Dallas under Rodgers?
Pretty sure.
So, it's like this dude, man. He's something else.
Yeah.
He's something else,
And
man.
listen, he has a chance to have that perfect game. Like I said before, it's not like he hasn't thrown 6 touchdowns against the Bears before.
I mean, that'd be great too if he just did.
It was at Soldier Field.
Yeah. So that'd be great too. Just forget all that losing and NFC Championship drama. Just go out this week and have that perfect 10 out of 10 performance for us, so we can gloat about that as we go into the playoffs, destroying the Bears, proving that they still and always suck. And like that'll be dope. That'll be dope, right? I would like that. I would like that. Rodgers going 20 for 25, 6 TDs, 250 yards. And then we could still have, maybe a Sombrero Jones, sighting, and maybe.
See if he pulls that out. He hasn't worn it in a couple weeks.
Yeah. I guess maybe that's kind of a summer thing, but yeah, maybe he needs to pull it out for this weekend, so we can have a Sombrero Jones sighting. Rodgers can have his day, but then the Packers could, maybe Jones can get one on the ground too. Kind of just keep that momentum going. Or maybe Dylan. I don't know, man. This Dylan kid.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So if Jamal Williams can come back next week, because I don't know the severity of his injury.
Yeah.
If he can come back next week, are they going to find, because of how well Dylan played last week, are they going to find a 3-back package that they can, like, play with? Not even consistently, but every once in a while. Or are they literally just going to rotate them all 3, like they rotate Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams?
Yeah.
What I'm saying, or are they just literally gonna bring him in the fourth quarter if we're up by 20?
Or maybe they just bring Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon will be the like first and second down guys, and then Jamal Williams could be a guy that only comes in on third downs if they even, what I'm saying, even if they want to bring him, they might, because all 3 guys can play all 3 downs. And like Dylan is the one with the weakest part of that game. But I remember LaFleur, or maybe it was Rodgers. I just like watch all these interviews back to back to back and just kind of absorb the information. But I sometimes forget who says what. But it's like they mention how A.J. Dillon has improved tremendously as the season has gone on in his pass protection. So, it's like this dude, we all kind of was griping about it, and I seen memes and just like tweets about like the Packers have gotten 0 starts or whatever. Yeah, 0 starts out of their first 3 draft picks or whatever. 0 production out of their first 3-round draft picks, and it was like, I mean, yeah, it's kind of like a clickbaity type of thing, but it was also true. You know what I'm saying? It is like, damn, you kind of do want to get some production out of your first 3 draft picks, like in the draft. It's like, you know what I mean? So to finally have now DeGuara, we know he got hurt. So okay, you know what I mean? Like he didn't have a chance, and he might. I mean, we might have DeGuara and Tunyon next year, and it's just like, well, we got the best 2, whatever. I don't know. He could be a great player coming. You know what I'm saying? But just from what we have seen, not this year, nothing. He got hurt. Then Jordan Love, we know nothing, and then Dylan, he got some carries, like maybe 5 carries on the year or some shit like that. He had some carries, a couple carries in some games, but nothing like this. 22, 21 carries. I mean, 120 some yards, like 2 touchdowns. He had a long break. He had some tough ones in between where he was spinning and breaking off tackles. It's like, I don't know, man. You know, we talked about the Aaron Jones contract situation. But imagine just if Dylan they like, no, this is playoff football. He's healthiest. You know, maybe, you know, we'll feed Jones more in the Super Bowl or something. I don't know, but it's like if Dylan just keeps getting the ball like this and he keeps running like this, like, I mean, I wouldn't be mad if they. I mean, you saw the production. Like if you could just give me that for the next 3 games, 4 games, right. I'll take that, man. 20 yards and 120 carries, 100 plus yards and a score or 2. It's like, man, that's dominant football right there. I would love that, man. Like, so I don't know, whoever it is, I would like to see it, but if it has to be Dylan, well, damn it, just let it be Dylan. I love to see it do it, but if it has to be somebody, if it has to be Dylan, hey, I'm fine with that. I'd rather have it. I'd rather have it just like be Dylan for sure than take a risk and, you know, put Jamal and Jones in there, majority of the carries. If I know for a fact we can get that with Dylan, it's like, all right, hey, just give him all the totes. You know what I'm saying? Because I want that for this football team. I want them to be able to dominate in the run game like they did, and to be able to have it work so well. You know, in between the tackles on the outside, just it was clutch. You know, they picked up. I mean, that was a fourth down play, wasn't it?
Yep.
That was a 4th down play. You know, I was like, I mean, what better when you have to get it and they know you're gonna do it, you still get it, and then boom, it's even touchdown. It's like, come on. Yep. It's like, damn, baby, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That's football. That's football right there, man. That's smash mouth football. So I love that for this team. I would love to see them do that. And Aaron Rodgers is being efficient. You know, 25. I would prefer that, honestly. I mean, think about that. The last 2 years with Matt LaFleur, Rodgers, I feel like he has been kind of averaging more of those sort of, I would like to see that. His like 25 and under versus like 30 and over attempt games, you know, because I feel like under the McCarthy era, it was high. He was averaging like 36 or probably like 34, you know, like attempts a game. And there would be times, and there were times we had like 40 and 50, I remember. I don't think Rodgers ever had a 50 attempt game under LaFleur, has he? Or even a 40 attempt game, I feel like is a lot. I feel like maybe 38, you know. But he had some high attempt games under McCarthy. And I like them running the ball. I really do. I prefer it to be more runs than passes. I would. I'd like to take the ball out of his hands a little more and just make those moments when you do play action and, you know, your little checks and adjustments. Like that was an adjustment, he said, that ball to the Adams. It was supposed to be a slant. But he checked it to a go route. And look what happened. One of the best plays of the game was on 3rd down. They needed it. They got it. Because the running game, they're playing a little bit, you know, tighter because the run game's being so dominant. They like, okay, let's kind of play our guys up maybe, you know. And it's like it was 3rd and short. I think it's like 3rd and no, not. It wasn't like short. I don't think it was 3rd and 2. I think it was maybe like 3rd and 7 or something, or 3rd and 5. But I mean, they took a shot, man, and it was a beauty. I just think because that's like the running game is just being so good, man. I like seeing them being so even. And even by even, I mean a little uneven, like a little bit, just a little bit more passing, rushing than pass. But I love it, man. I love it. This team is really good. So, I mean, you feel good about the Bears then. You got to feel good about the Bears. Are you a little worried, or what do you?
I mean, you always got to be a little bit worried. It doesn't matter. They could like literally have no wins, and like because they're a divisional opponent, like it's still gonna be some type of game.
Right, exactly.
Like it doesn't. It literally doesn't matter, and I think it's gonna be closer than like some people think. Like I think people think that we're gonna blow them out, and I don't think we are. I think it's gonna be a close game.
Yeah.
Like we still might win by like 10 points or something. But I think it's gonna happen just like it did against the Titans. Like if we have we're gonna have a complete game, and we're gonna throw like or not throw. We're gonna like make this a game in the second half. Like I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Basically, win the game in the second half.
Yeah.
Like it could be tied like 14-14.
Yeah, or it could be like a 9 and yeah. I feel you, my bad, but yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off. But yeah, I know exactly what you mean though. I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, it could be close, like going in. Oh, the Bears are hanging in there. Trubisky had a score. You know what I mean? Like, and he ran for a touchdown on just like with the Tannehill situation, basically, because Trubisky can move, and that's why I never agreed with them. I don't know why they took him out in the first place. I feel like
he was injured for a couple weeks. That's why they started Foles, and then when he wasn't injured anymore, they just continued to start Foles.
So he got hurt that first game Foles came in, I just thought he was just playing bad. The first game Foles came in, I thought he was just playing bad, and they were just like, we're just gonna go with Foles.
No, he had an injury.
And
but then they continued to play Foles.
Yeah, fuck that.
After he got healthy, but
nah.
Then Foles got injured, and they put in Trubisky, and now he's playing well, so they're not taking him out.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right, I mean, but I would have went with Trubisky, man, because he just gives you, like I said with Kyler Murray, those quarterbacks that can scramble, they give you an element that you can't really prepare for, and it's like it just adds an extra component to like what you have to do to try to defend them, and like something else to think about. You know what I mean? Like football defense is such a reaction. I want to just see something react, or like be able to almost even predict something, and that's unpredictable. That scramble and that ability to like run. So it's like, I think, I think that they should have stuck with them. So it's like, but like I said, there's been times when the Packers have like blown them out, and the way we're getting turnovers now, the way they're getting turnovers. I mean, I think if they're going to get turnovers more consistently, then, I mean, this team is really – they're going to be really hard. They're going to be really hard to beat. Look, they're going to be really tough out. And I think they can – they might just be feeling themselves so much like, yeah, man, you know what? We're going into Soldier Field, and we're putting this team out if we have anything to do with it. We're just going to knock them out. We're going to dominate them.
Yeah.
Because that's just how they've been playing. So, I like their chances. To maybe, like I said, maybe win big. The Bears coming and feeling themselves, but the Packers are like, nah, man, we got to show y'all that we flipped the switch. They're flipping the switch. They're like just like folk. They're dialed in. They don't want to get embarrassed like last year. I don't know. Just something seems a little bit different. Honestly, I was just really impressed with that game. So, we're at like the 2-hour mark, man. We kind of went super strong today. But I feel like this is the perfect time to kind of like end the show. We hit all the topics, plus some more topics, plus some more topics, some interesting things. Honestly, I even wrote down a few other things I wanted to maybe talk about for next week's show. We could do that with the What's Packing Sports Show with Sav Dean on Sports, not Sav on Sports. I was jacking that up. But we had a good show. Hey, I think we both feel really good about this team, as all Packers fans should, and confident that this could be a really fun year to wrap up. What a way to wrap up 2020, then as a crazy and it's just I guess it almost just seemed like waste of a year. You know what I mean? It's like, damn, like this whole year has just been like, what the fuck? For the Packers to win though, that'd be a great way to end it. and to kick off the new year. Because really the Super Bowl's played in 2021. You know what I mean? So we end that year with the bang. Hey, Patrick's going to the Super Bowl 13-3. Hey, and then we start the new year with Packers won the Super Bowl. Hey, they went 13-3. You know what I'm saying? Like, that'd be a great way, from 2020 to 2021, man. So it's been your boy Godchild, first of his name, and Savannah Dean, talking Packers on the What's Packing Sports Show. As always, go Pack, go! And you got to say it with me this time because it's the rivalry week. On the count of 3, the Bears still suck. 1, 2, 3. The Bears still